My brother laughed when I said I was finally moving out. You'll come crawling back, he said. 3 months later, he was the one asking to stay with me, right before I sold the house. I'd lived with my parents my whole life, 28 years old, still in my childhood bedroom with the same Star Wars posters from high school. My older brother Derek loved reminding me every chance he got. Some of us actually made it out, he'd say during family dinners, gesturing toward himself like he was some kind of success story. He'd lean back in his chair, smirking. But hey, not everyone can handle the real world. Some people need mommy and daddy forever. Mom would laugh nervously and try to change the subject. Dad would just shake his head like I was the family disappointment. My sister would scroll through her phone pretending not to hear, but I could see her smiling. Derek lived in this fancy downtown condo, 23rd floor, floor-to-ceiling windows, granite, everything. He drove a BMW he couldn't actually afford and wore designer clothes to his middle management job. Every family gathering turned into the Derek Show, where he'd talk about his amazing life while I sat there like a ghost. When I finally saved enough for a down payment, I announced it at Sunday dinner. I'd been working my tech job remotely, living at home rent-free, banking almost every paycheck for 2 years straight, had $60,000 saved up. Derek literally laughed out loud, nearly choking on his wine. You? Buying a house? He looked around the table like he was performing for an audience. This, I gotta see. He turned to Mom and Dad, grinning. Give it 3 months, maybe 4 if he's really stubborn. He'll come crawling back when he realizes how expensive adulting actually is. Water bills, electric bills, property taxes, maintenance. You have no idea what you're getting into, little bro. My sister looked up from her phone long enough to add, you can't even remember to do your own laundry half the time. I didn't argue, didn't defend myself, just finished my dinner in silence while they took turns making jokes about my upcoming failure. 2 weeks later, I closed on a modest 3-bedroom house in a quiet neighborhood 20 minutes away. Nothing fancy, but it was mine. Every square foot, every cabinet, every doorknob, mine. I worked from my new home office, kept the lawn maintained, learned to cook actual meals instead of living on takeout, painted the living room, fixed the leaky faucet myself from a YouTube tutorial, started a small garden in the backyard. 3 months passed exactly. Then Derek's girlfriend kicked him out. Turned out she'd been paying most of the rent on that fancy condo while he spent his money on bottle service at clubs and car payments he couldn't afford. She got tired of it, met someone else, gave him 2 weeks notice. My phone rang at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. Derek's name lit up my screen. Hey, little bro. His voice had lost all its usual cockiness. So I'm sort of between places right now, having some temporary cash flow issues. Think I could crash with you? Just a few weeks until I figure things out. I was sitting in my living room, the one I'd painted myself, looking at my modest but paid-for furniture. Sure, I said calmly. Rent's still $200 a month plus half the utilities. First and last month up front. I'll need it by this weekend. Long silence on the other end. Rent? Seriously? I'm your brother, and this is my house. Same deal I'd give any tenant. Take it or leave it. He showed up the next day with 2 suitcases and an attitude that hadn't quite died yet. Made comments about my furniture being from IKEA, about how small my TV was, about my basic neighborhood without any restaurants he'd actually eat at. Man, I don't know how you live like this, he said, looking around my living room like it was a prison cell. I just smiled. Some of us actually made it out, remember? 2 days later, a young couple came to view the house. I'd accepted a job offer in another state. Better pay, fully remote, closer to mountains I actually wanted to live near. The realtor walked them through, pointing out the fresh paint, the garden I'd started, the new fixtures I'd installed. Derek watched from the hallway, holding a bowl of cereal, confused. Wait, he set the bowl down. You're selling. Where am I supposed to go? I walked over and handed him the same crumpled envelope he'd given me as a housewarming gift 3 months earlier. Inside was the gas station gift card with $3.47 left on it, and a note that said, "For emergencies." I'm sure you'll figure it out, I said, meeting his eyes. After all, you're the one who knows how to handle the real world. Not everyone can do it, right? The house sold in 4 days, full asking price. Derek moved back in with our parents.